Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm Clara, and today I finally have my giant VIB Rouge sale haul to share with you guys. I know that I have been promising this for a while, and I went kind of crazy with ordering, so there's a lot of material here for you to watch. I'll try to get through it as fast as I can so that you can get on to putting things in your shopping cart for the VIB sale that's coming up. That starts on the 11th, which is this Friday. And if you guys don't want to sit here and watch the whole video, because I know that it's going to get so long and there are so many videos out there with recommendations for you, I will list every product in the description box below. I did go into the store on the 4th to pick up just a couple of things because I did make a new discovery. So even though I have been using 2-day flash shipping for about a year now, I didn't realize that there are some products that are actually excluded from 2-day flash shipping. Anything with like aerosols, like some hairspray, or in this case I bought an aerosolized foundation. I will do a quick run through of all the products. Maybe I'll swatch a couple of them for you, just depending on what I have room for on my face and arm, and then I will get back to you as soon as I can with more detailed reviews for each of those. I have a few like holiday sets and things like that, but those have permanent edition items in them, so you will be able to find the individual components of everything, as well as having purchased a ton of permanent items. So if you do miss the sale, or if you really want to purchase holiday things in the sale and then maybe come back and spend some more money later, I feel like these are all really high quality items that I am recommending for you, that I have picked up myself with my own money in the sale. This is not a sponsored video by any means. So let's jump into the items. I will film them as they arrive, so if you notice a hair or wardrobe change. Alright, first order of business is the things that I picked up in store. I will just tell you really quickly what they are and then why I decided to pick those up, why I think they were worth my money. And for those of you who are going to see how many things I picked up and like gasp in shock and horror, just know I've been saving most of my money for kind of holiday launches, and of course I knew that Sephora was coming out with their 20% off sale, so don't judge me. So I went into the store to pick up this item. This is the Diorskin Airflash, and I've heard so many wonderful things about this foundation. But this is the item that had restricted shipping because it is an aerosol. I've kind of cheated already. I already took it out of the package and I played with it a couple of times. Has nice medium coverage and it looks really natural on the skin. It doesn't fully cover any blemishes, but it feels really lightweight. It is a spray foundation. So when you spray it, you could spray it onto your face, but that's going to get really messy really quick. So what most people do is they spray it onto the back of their hand, and then they take a brush or beauty blender or spread it with your fingers under your face and then use a beauty blender, and that works a lot better. I still notice if you spray at really close range, you will get a lot of splashback, and the first time I did that, I got it like on my clothes and everything, so kind of spray at a good distance if you don't want to run into that problem. I will give you guys an update, and I plan on doing like a battle of the foundations with all the foundations I purchased. Just for reference, I do have oily skin, but I do get some dry patches around my acne, so this sticks in those just a little bit, but to be honest, I haven't found a foundation that doesn't kind of stick under those, which brings me to my next product. If you guys struggle with acne, I don't want you to be afraid of exfoliators, because they're actually going to make your makeup go on so much smoother and nicer and not get stuck on those weird little flaky patches that you didn't realize you had until you put foundation on. This was my Isle of Temptation purchase, and it is a miniature size of the Kate Somerville Exfolikate. I really liked it enough to buy this size. The full size of this product is like $80 or something, and this kind of more miniature size is only about like $24. It's half an ounce, but I only use like a pea size amount on my hand each time, and I feel like this is gonna last me a while. I just didn't really want to spend $80 on it at the last minute since I'd purchased so many other things, but this one is definitely really fantastic. I would highly recommend this, and if you are buying something to give as a Christmas gift, you should just know this one smells like Christmas. Okay, it smells like cloves, and it would be a great cute little Christmas gift for that skincare obsessed friend of yours or for yourself. I hope you guys have not been too shocked and horrified at how much stuff I have purchased, but I just basically picked up all the permanent items that I've been interested in all year and wanted to try out at 20% off. So it is now Tuesday night and I just received a bunch of packages on my doorstep, so we can continue this little haul. Everything that you see on the counter behind me is a sneak peek for what I got out of the boxes. And again, everything will be listed in the description box below, along with the shade and any little tips I have about the item. First, I have the Marc Jacobs Remarcable foundation. I think that this is perfect for oily skin, and it's also perfect for people who have acne or any like discoloration they want to cover up, because this is like a medium to full cover foundation. It covers extremely well. It leaves you very matte throughout most of the day, but it still manages to have a very natural skin-like texture to it, so this is one of my absolute favorites at the moment. The next item that I have for you I'm sure will surprise nobody, because this has been raved about so much, but it's been in and out of stock a bunch of times and I was worried I wouldn't be able to pick it up for the sale, but it did come back in stock and I think it is still in stock. If not, just keep checking back. It is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette, and I will just show you the inside really fast, even though there's tons of tutorials out there. I'm just really happy to have my hands on this baby. I did pick up a few other single eyeshadows in the sale, but the only other eyeshadow palette I got comes in this cute little mystery black bag. I do really enjoy when a product has its own bag, because I feel like that makes it a little more like travel friendly, protects it from dust, and also it helps keep fingerprints off of it. This is the Marc Jacobs eyeshadow palette. It's one of their 7 eyeshadow palettes, and it has this little latch to keep it locked. You push on this and then you can lift the lid. It did come with a little piece of black plastic on it that said Marc Jacobs, but I don't really like dealing with those, so I already took it out. When you're looking at this, you probably will think that these are all like pretty boring neutral colors that you already have, and I wasn't really tempted by this when I saw it in the store until I saw Karima McKimmy recommended it maybe a couple of years ago, and so then after that I went in store and kind of swatched it and tested it out, and all of these eyeshadows are so creamy and pigmented. I'm really excited to play with them, and actually it has an interesting mix of kind of, these are really like matte natural colors here. They're pretty neutral, a little bit warm toned. This one is very shimmery, like champagne color. This is actually pretty pink, which I like the combination of this with the browns. And then this one is kind of a golden brown, and then a slightly like darker, like a copper brown almost. This next item I think would be so perfect for you if you have been wanting to try out any of the Kevyn Aucoin products, especially the sculpting powder in medium, which everybody raves about. I haven't tried any Kevyn Aucoin products yet because they are really pricey. The sculpting powder in medium is $44 for like this tiny little pan, and this set actually came out a few months ago and everyone like went crazy over it, and then it went out of stock and everybody sort of forgot about it. It came back in stock, but I don't think most people even realized that. I am so glad that I found this online, because I was actually just looking for their sculpting powder in medium. This is one of the Kevyn Aucoin contour books. It comes with like this little instruction, and also it comes with a full-size sculpting powder, and it comes with also their candlelight highlighting powder, which is really popular, and then the cream versions of both of those shades all are like the full size, and I believe that these are the full size of their little eyeshadows as well. And these are kind of like very neutral colors, again, a little bit warmer than the Marc Jacobs palette that I just showed you, but I think this is a really nice kind of all-in-one travel palette. And it's only, I believe, like $20 more expensive than picking up just the sculpting powder, so this is a phenomenal deal. I know sometimes Kevyn Aucoin releases sets that are not really value deals, and you can end up paying a lot of money for very little product, but this one I feel like will give you a lot of product for your money, and it is a great way to try out the brand. The next item that I have to share with you was the very first thing that I decided to pick up in the sale really early on in the year. I haven't really heard anybody talking about it, but it's very beautiful. I love like blush colors and things like that. I don't really have any on right now because I do want to demo those for you later, but it is the Laura Mercier Shimmer Block in pink Mosaic, and so it comes with like a little square pan, and then it has 4 kind of different quads of like a light white shimmery pink a kind of baby pink shade, a darker like a reddish pink, and then a brown pink shade, and you can swirl it or you can use each of the individual shades, and it does end up being a very kind of shimmery baby pink with sort of like a hint of more like neutral brown tones added to it, so it's not very pastel, and I think it could be used as either a blush or a blush topper, maybe even like as a highlight. The reason that I'm not showing it to you even though I'm raving about this item is because I opened the box and I think Sephora was trying to save a little bit on shipping or something, so they crammed a ton of items into one small box and didn't leave any room for their normal packaging paper to keep everything like insulated and protected, and so the box got like thrown around a lot, I guess. And when I opened it, it was just like full of pink sand, just everywhere on everything, and I got that sinking feeling in my stomach, and then I figured it was probably my Laura Mercier product, so I opened that up, and the entire compact was, it was actually just like slightly open even in the box, and everything was just like sand crumbled everywhere. There was nothing to show you guys. So fortunately Sephora has a really good return and exchanges policy, so I'm not worried about that. It is just a bummer that it is that one particular item because it was the very first thing that I decided to pick up for this sale. The next item that I have to share with you is from Makeup Forever, and they took a lot of my money in this sale. This is the new Profusion highlighter in golden pink. They also have one in gold for deeper skin tones. I can never open this thing, you guys. So I tried to find this in store prior to the event and I couldn't find it at all. So maybe you guys haven't seen it yet either. It is like a really brilliantly blinding highlighter when it's built up. I've seen it can also look subtle, and it's very creamy. I think this is really flattering if you want to try a pinker highlighter, but you're a little bit intimidated by something like Becca Rose Quartz, which is a very cool undertone. You can give this one a try. Next, I have a few lip products. A lot of them are from YSL, so we'll just jump into what I think is my favorite liquid lipstick ever. I was sent a deluxe sample of, I believe, the shade 401, which is just their like bright red color. It is the Vinyl Lip Cream. I picked this one up in the shade Carmin Session 407, which is a very kind of natural fall, like mauve-y, easy to wear lip color, and it was actually the only shade that was sold out at the start of the sale, but it came back in stock. And the reason why I am recommending this to you is because I have very, very dry lips. So if you have incredibly dry lips and you hate wearing any formula of liquid lipstick that you have ever tried, then maybe it is worth the higher price tag for this item, because it's very hard to describe exactly what it does. I feel like even when I'm wearing a regular lipstick, slowly over the course of the day, my lips kind of start to dry out just because they're exposed to the air. But this kind of creates like almost like a shield or a barrier over your lips, and it's very interesting. It's completely flexible with your lips, so it doesn't crack, it doesn't settle into lines. Because my lips are very dry, they can look like kind of old and crumbly very easily, and this just goes on perfectly, and it keeps my lips from having the moisture like evaporated out of them throughout the day. It does transfer just a little bit, but I don't notice the color really coming off of my lips so much as going on to other things. But I just feel like this is incredibly hydrating. I was so surprised. I had to pick it up, and I will probably pick it up in other colors as well. Next, I have the YSL Rouge Volupte Shine lipsticks. I picked up a couple of these, not just because the packaging is super adorable, because it is, and I have been eyeing this for a long time, but because I did, again, get some samples. I got a sample in this red shade, which is kind of like a very like Snow White kind of berry red. It's really beautiful. It is shade 45, and I have shade 43, which is a very natural kind of pinky rose color. Another lipstick that I picked up because I couldn't find it anywhere in the store to even try out was the Shiseido Rouge lipsticks. These are a new formula from Shiseido, and they have a really big range of kind of natural red lip colors, so I feel like they are shades that would look good on anybody. For me, I have been dying to find a coral lipstick that looks good on me, so I picked up the shade Coral Shore, and also I picked up the shade Red Queen, which is a lot more like pink and kind of dusty rose color than red as you might expect. I have heard nothing but good things about these lipsticks. They're supposed to be really hydrating, so I'll try them out and let you know. Next up, I have my Holy Grail chapstick, which if you struggle with dry lips all the time like me, you will be a chapstick junkie too, I'm sure. And I used to always use like Burt's Bees from the drugstore, but then I was in the mall one day and my lips were like dying and I didn't have any chapstick, so I ran into Sephora, into the aisle of temptation, and I picked up the Sephora brand Super Nourishing Lip Balm with beeswax, I guess. But this is very, very soft. I'm not opening this because I still have another tube of it, which I'm almost out of, but it's very soft. It has shea butter in it. It's just really hydrating on the lips, and it goes on just so smoothly. And now when I try to use like Burt's Bees or other chapsticks, I find them really grainy and intolerable on the lips. This is just perfectly smooth on your lips, and it does kind of smell and taste mildly like birthday cake batter or something. So it's really, really pleasant, and it's like $6, so I think this is the cheapest thing I picked up in this haul, and I love this. Next up, I have been wanting to try the Urban Decay Naked Skin color correcting fluids for so long. I got into color correctors maybe last year when everybody was getting really into them. I got the YSL pin in the green shade, and I ended up actually returning that because I felt like I could never get the product to come out. Like, it dried up almost immediately after I got it. So after that, I was really wary of color correctors, but I have only heard like really good things about these. Like, they're really lightweight. I went into the store and I tried them on the back of my hand, which obviously is a little more wrinkly and textured than the skin on my face. And this just kind of color corrected, but you couldn't see that there was anything on the skin. It was really weird. Like, it neutralized the color, but there was no visible fluid on the skin or settling into the lines like things sometimes do. And the purple one I got because I have been loving actually my Besame Violet powder. I feel like for people who have kind of yellow skin, the purple is supposed to correct any sallowness, so this is probably a pretty good one to put like in the center of the face. And green obviously is for color correcting redness, which again, I have redness. You know, it's good if you want to try to cover up an extra difficult acne spot, or if you just have kind of surface redness on your cheeks and you're, I don't know, wearing a red lip or something and you want it to really be covered, then you might want to try a green color corrector. The next item I have might seem kind of gimmicky, and I just honestly tried it in the store because I thought it was so pretty. I wasn't expecting to like it, and I do not really like primers. They're okay. I mean, they make your foundation go on a little bit easier, but I feel like a lot of primers that I try kind of clog my pores because I do have big pores, and they're just so much work to blend in because a lot of them have a very like thick texture to them. And so I got a sample of this just to try it. I ended up really loving it. I was so sad when the sample ran out. And actually I find that this pairs perfectly with my Marc Jacobs Remarcable foundation. This is how I get such a natural skin look with it, by using this first and then using just a tiniest bit of the Remarcable foundation because it's really easy to overdo that, and blending it in with a damp beauty blender, and it just looks so perfect. This is the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer. You know, I got a comment on my other video saying gold isn't good for your skin. That's probably true. It is a known irritant for some people, but I do also have like another foundation even that has lavender oil in it, which is again supposed to be a skin irritant, and even though my skin is irritated by so many things, it seems to not mind lavender oil or gold. Apparently my skin is very greedy, I guess. What I really like about this is the texture. It's very like slippery, and even though it's a very good silicone formula, so it makes your foundation go on very smoothly over the top, it's just so easy to blend into the skin, and it's also very moisturizing, I find, on me. Sometimes I feel like putting a primer on my skin kind of dries out the moisturizer that I just put on there, or it's very thick and hard to blend. I haven't noticed that the gold like gives any kind of brightening effect or anything like that, but I do really like the texture of it. I feel like it goes on so easy, and this is just an effortless primer for me. Next up, I have the only perfume that I hauled. I was debating getting the Nest set, which has, I believe, 6 different roller balls in them, but they were very, very tiny when I saw them in the store, and to be completely honest, when I spray Nest perfumes on me in the store, sometimes I'll be like, oh, like that one smells really nice, but I actually bought one of them last year and I ended up returning it because to me, after that initial pleasant smell, it actually kind of dried down and started to smell like a man's cologne. And if you want a smell that's not girly, like something that's more androgynous and mysterious, then maybe you would like the other ones. But for me, I'm not really into those cologne-y kind of smells, and most of the ones that they have in their line smell a little bit like that to me, except for the Dahlia and the Vines, which I should love because I love all the things in there, but to me it just smells way too sweet. So when I was going into store and testing out the different fragrances that were in that little kit, I found out that I actually really love this one, which I never would have picked up otherwise. It is the Nest Citrine perfume, and I will list in the description box below all the notes that this has in it. It does have just a hint of that more androgynous kind of scent to it. It's not like as girly as the perfumes that I normally prefer, but it's just like intoxicating. I don't know. I think that you could try the Nest rollerball set if you want, but to be honest, the rollerballs are like this big. They're really, really small. Or you can go in store and kind of sniff them out and see if there's one that you like. If you are dying to try out a Nest fragrance, but your store doesn't carry them, because I know mine hasn't carried them in a long time, and you don't like cologne-y smells, then I would suggest you try out this one. Next up, I have the Besame Powder Trio, and I believe that this kit was sold out last I checked on Sephora, but it may be coming back. These powders are half the size of their full-size ones, so it's still a pretty good deal, and it's for the price of one full-size one, so you basically get 1.5 times the product in here. You do have a Vanilla Rose shade, which the rose is supposed to correct like kind of like dullness and sallowness, and then you have the traditional kind of vanilla shade, which is good for like setting under the eyes. It's kind of like a banana brightening powder, but not quite as yellow, and this one smells like vanilla as well. And then next you have the Violet Powder, which I already own this in my collection, but I love it so much that I had to pick up this set anyway, because I haven't tried these ones out yet. Again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but if you have like yellow skin and kind of dullness like in the center of your face, especially, I use this to set powder under my eyes, and I feel like that makes my face look really bright and awake. You can definitely see a difference when you apply this on your skin, just in case you're wondering if it's one of those sort of like gimmicky powders that you put it on and it blends out to nothing. But it doesn't look like purple on your skin. And just for comparison, here is the full-size powder. The only difference is that this one does not come with a little puff. If this set is sold out and not coming back, then I would recommend that you check out the Violet Powder instead. So the lid screws off, and then there is this cute little puff in there, which honestly I don't use except in maybe like an emergency situation, but it's very cute. And what I really love is that this is separated from the powder by this little plastic compartment, which also keeps the powder from making a huge mess in your drawer, which is why I usually stay away from loose powders. So then you can just lift this little compartment, and then I actually like to just like tap my brush on the side. I find this easier than trying to shake this out. Okay, we are about halfway there, guys.